kill off Fruition.
Lively now.
One thing I'm worried about is they don't have any kind of save inside of TNC. So once either Lifestealer goes in, a Timber cell, we didn't talk about the Timber at all. Like, he's just sitting on the bottom lane, 20 magic wand charges, 3 points in reactive armor. Feels like he's unkillable at the moment, unless Kanka decides to rotate. He's still vulnerable to magical damage at this point.
Yeah, magical damage, they've got a decent amount here for the Kanka, but Kanka just drops the ghost ship. He's going to be A-okay. Mirana rotates in as well, and if anything, that looked like Kanka was maybe going to turn around and get some kills there. And level 6 now.
And during the draft, I talked about the Spirit Vessel Carrier. I'm glad that Kanka is buying one, at least has one queued up. So double Bracer, it's gonna become so tanky with this guy.
Farming some jungle now that he's being kind of scared out of the lane. Efficient play there, using the Tidebringer to hit multiple camps. Lifesteal only level 4. This is the problem with these aggressive Krylons. He's 3-0. He's farming okay. He hasn't got amazing CS, just the 32, but 13 to 9. Levels really hurting.
If he's under-leveled, I would not be surprised if he is the one that buys Dome for him.
Buys it for himself.
No, someone else buys it for
him.
Sorry.
Cost kill your integrees. He's looking to keep getting some kills up here. Bristleback TP rotation, Lifesteal, yeah, he's gonna have to rage TP, which is...
It's that easy, just TP out.
Bristle rotating in, so...
What do you feel about the raid bans against the null talismans against
Dire's
Bracer?
tower is
Like,
under attack.
which one is the best?
Magic resistance, health and magic resistance is like the dream. Dual Bracer every hero. But this top lane looking a bit dicey as Bristleback going diving on in. He's going to play around the Timbersaw though, and he has not got a TP, so we'll see what Kuku can do here, as it does look like he is going to be punished deep behind the enemy tower. Timbersaw down, that's all.
Yeah, that was extremely greedy. Dying, even if he got the kill on AA, it's still not.
Quite paying off as he'd hoped for. Grimstroke to support taking over. Looks like Kanka's just going to spend some time in the jungle, as is Orc Warden. Orc Warden doesn't really have a good place to go right now. Rubik will get picked off and down to bottom lane. Kanka rotation.
Kanka realizes his role. He needs to create space for Arc Warden at this moment. He needs to be active. He's on top of a CS chart, 71 and 13. Has that urn flying to him. Every single time the boat is up, I would not be surprised. Arc Warden really not having a good 18 CS on this.
Boat is one of those low cooldowns, so we could see a very active Kanka here. Now it's going to be playing around this bottom lane, but the Lifestealer, not really the ideal hero to make plays on. They look for an arrow. Expect to have that initiation work too well for them. Come on in and start harassing with that Tiebreaker. Kind of probably knows he can't initiate here. Some good damage with this Tidebringer though, as you really want to pressure this tower, but Lifestealer, I think he knows he's got TP support if they overkill him.
He also has Infest, and even if they land an arrow from this short distance, he dies. 1 point in Rage is more than enough. Infest 4 Magic Wand charges. They should try to play maybe on mid or top. Lifestealer is tough kill to get.
I think he kind of came down here because Lifestealer was playing top lane, but now Lifestealer's kind of just gone to wherever the Kanka is.
And this is the build I love to see on Timber. So double Bracer, Soul Ring, Magic Wand. Look at his HP. 1600 HP.
And magic resistance, 37%. Stuff. And this Yule Scepter is going to kind of take away one of the key ways they kill him, which is that X initiation. Kind of defensively Yules to typically dodge some of those spells. Kind of turns into this big mind game.
First Moonlight Shadow used.
They were using it. They dove in looking for a bit of a kill there. Life still got low, but they used the Moonlight Shadow just to get out. Back in. They've gone in looking for the Arc 1 kill. They're going to get it. It's going to be Keen Gaming mid player getting X and pulled back. He did have the run. He didn't get to the high ground though. He's still the low ground here. They're slowing down the Bristle. He's trying to chase with the Tidebringer damage. getting pretty low there. Instead, they're going to go for the AA, the DD on the Bristleback.
300 damage on Bristle. That should be a tier 1 tower for sure.
Are fortified.
I would expect so with the double damage wearing off, but they've still got a siege creep. So nice timing around this rotation. So they can get a tier 1 tower. And a tier 1 mid, one of the more important tier 1.
Radiant's middle
Will go the way of Cuckoo and Bristleback.
And Timbersaw already saw what Ganka is going for, so he's building that Yule Scepter, which you mentioned. It's a Dispel, and also they kind of lack abilities to stop the TPs.
Radiant are
I mean, right now, what's the game plan for TNC? Is it just delay for late game with Arc Warden? Or are they actually trying to fight with their other 4 heroes?
They can fight with the other 4 people. Every single time the boat is up, Bristleback doesn't have a big item yet. Has Vanguard queued up, farming the jungle at the moment.
Level 9. It's the same level as Ember. Crazy, actually. Just having a good time. He's basically a core hero at this point.
If he wants to transition into core, he can still buy a Maelstrom, even though from position 4 you expect him to go for something like an Urn, a mech is good. You can also buy a Force Staff, which should be great of value here.
Top, they're looking for Mirana. Ice Blast coming in as well. They get the vision, another leap out. He'll just go for a TP. Telekinesis, not there. A little bit too far. An Arc Warden clone. That's gold though. Can they kill it before it expires? Yeah. Easy gold. It's like Kunkka found the AA. One of the easier kills for him to get. He's completed his Spirit Vessel. Another reason why Timbersaw is rushing that Yule Scepter. And already has it in fact, so a way to dispel off the Spirit Vessel charges.
They're lively now. Your Admiral is on board.
He might even need second Dispel.
Yeah. I mean, often you see Timbers get 2 or 3.
Yeah, either Lotus Orb or he can move the Guardian.
Nice Yule Scepter. Dodges it so he doesn't get hit by that long arrow, and it's Mirana instead. Forced to leap away. Coming flying on in. It's going to hit a couple. Not getting them all too low here as Ember gets X'd up again, but I don't think there's too much fall off from TNC. Leave Dash alone.
Just pop the smoke. If they can get Arc Warden once again before he gets his Midas, they're pinging it out. He has no boots. Is he gonna stay? Oh, Sentry Ward is ready on Kanka if he wants to place it. He's dropping it.
Yep, they're gonna go for this kill. They really want it, and they should have it. Yeah, he's just gonna turn and fight. He wants to get in the room, but he's gonna get hit by the Midas.
Oh.
He did. What
He
a player.
actually got the kill before and bought the Midas.
Yes. That's huge for him. That kind of salvages that situation for him. And they're going to go back with the X into the arrow, hits the Timbersaw, heals this one off. And now the Starstorm follow-up. It should be enough damage. And yeah, they've got the kill with the Mirana. Really nicely done by TNC, punishing that dive up top.
If someone TP's bottom, they might actually get a kill on Ember Spirit here. Here it is.
Yep, gets the silence to lead things off. He's going to stun to follow it up. Can the Ember get out of this one? He's been stunned before he can get rid of the silence. And it looks like Tim's with the follow-up. Is it going to be enough? He didn't have quite the necessary damage. He's not going to go leaping on afterwards as Ember double remnants away. Very close. And they're still hunting. Hits him with the Stroke of Fate. Remnant away. He's
out of remnants.
Got no TP. It's on cooldown for 15 seconds. He's going to look for another Stroke of Fate soon.
Arrow. One more leap.
Are they going for this? A leap into a Starstorm? No. Decide to let Ember go. I think a little bit afraid because of the Shrine. You could TP on in as well as, of course, heal yourself back up.
I think it was a risky play to go with another leap, but it would still be worth.
Mirana, Tim's in a lot of trouble here. No more leaps left, and we'll get punished for this one. Yule Scepter making sure they got the bounty rune as well. Timber's going to get both those bounty runes at the bottom, while his team will get top to 3 out of 4 bounty runes going gaming. Very even game here at 15 minutes. Boat. This boat stolen by the Robin. He's going to turn that around. That's going to mitigate some of this damage coming on in. Bristle, though, with that Tidebringer, is going to get the kill. And now Bristle's found a new target, the AA. The right-click damage, one more right-click, it's there. It's just enough. As Bristle now in all sorts of trouble. He's overcommitted. He's dying to the Timbersaw. That pure damage coming on in from the Chakram. Bristle will pay the price.
Arrow.
Yeah, They got the damage to Silence. Yeah, they should be able to do this one. Dual Scepter is there. There should be another Vessel. No, he's out of charges. Can they even kill him here? It's going to be Armel and someone's all sorts of trouble. He X him back in. Is there going to be another Starstorm? Couple of seconds. He gets the kill on the Timbersaw. Wants the Ember as well. And they'll get both. Really nicely done. The Arc Warden rotating in as well to get a kill. Armel has his Midas up and is a very happy camper.
There was no AA ulti, there was no Rubik because he died before that fight. The TNC playing extremely well at this point, giving Arc Warden a chance to come back into the game. He got his hand of Midas. This is the most important item on the hero, even though he didn't get it at the good timing. It was, what, 14-15 minutes?
Yeah.
But still, they're playing so well with the other 4 heroes.
An Axe build on the Mirana, it looks like now. The right-click transition, but is transitioning into a different kind of core. More one that maybe like pushes out lanes a bit.
Radiant's bottom tower
A
is
lot of
under
farm
attack.
tab on your 4 position. I don't say that in a bad way.
Yeah, Mirana with Ags, it was kind of a beamy build. At one point it was a bit OP, and then we twisted the numbers. It was way too long of a cooldown. Now it went down from 9 to 8 seconds, so it's pretty viable.
A lot of heroes rotating down bottom. It's going to be a TNC scan right on top of this smoke rotation. Bristle still may get caught here. The Ice Blast damage in the Timbersaw. They are going to lose Cuckoo. Smoke comes flying in, but damage has been done. Timbersaw. The Yule Scepter is kind of chasing the ball. The Yule's comes back up now. Find anything else, doesn't look like it. Just the one kill for that smoke rotation. TNC will be too annoyed by that, but that's still a 3rd death on Cuckoo's Bristle. Not easy playing into the...
I feel like both of these teams have good counters, but enemy. Like you're playing the Timbersaw into Spirit Vessel, then you have AA against Bristle, a lot of gap closers against Arc Warden.
Coming in, Kunkka. The X to start things off. Torrent doesn't time it, gets the Remnant away.
Once Kunkka gets a BKB, he's not dying. They have no damage whatsoever. They also can't lock him down, not enough stuns. The timing that the Keen Gaming is looking for is the Radiance.
Yeah, not too far away.
Oh, nice arrow.
Oh my gosh, they've got the combo with the Grimstroke, banging them 2 together. The Lifesteal are going to get thrown up in the air as well. He couldn't get the range off, and now the Stolen Boat coming on in, but it's too little, too late. The X-Back is going to pull the Rubik back in for a 3rd and a 4th easy kill.
That's a big step, and that's a big turnaround from TNC. Another great arrow from Tims to set things up. Also, they need this to take a fight. I was surprised that they decided to go for
Dire's bottom tower is under
tier 1
attack.
tower or try to take a fight because Lifestealer did not have a Radiance there. He didn't even have Relic.
Oh my. Timbersaw was still down bottom and is going to find a free solo kill here potentially. Doesn't look like getting the damage up what he was hoping for, and he's going to get stunned and silenced up. Still chasing, wants his Arc Warden, and will get the kill there.
Radiant's middle tower is
Playing in
under
the enemy
attack.
base here, and will be out under the tier 3 tower.
That was a huge for TNC. And the BKB is finished on Kunkka. To use the courier. There's no way he's dying. Also Bristleback tanking up. Vanguard finish good. Another arrow.
This combo, this Kunkka Mirage, you can see why they first 2 pick it.
Lowered the
TNC showing they've got plenty of practice and experience using the two heroes. Timbersaw wants to run in and set something up. They've lost Ember though, so this is a bit of a bold play. Even though Arc Warden's dead, 1, Gabby's respawning soon, and 2, it's an Arc Warden. It's not a hero that's looking to fight.
Ooh, bounty.
They desperately need this Radiance on a Lifestealer, even though it's not the greatest timing. He still needs to buy a full recipe, 1300 gold.
How much is it really going to do? It doesn't feel like it's the item that necessarily changes the game, even though it is their time.
And 2 Thors on the side of TNC are not going to care about that Radiance. That's a Bristol with the almost full pipe and Kunkka with the BKB. Radiance is not going to do that much. I feel like they missed their timings.
Do you think he should have maybe gone for that right-click build instead, with how this game's been going for the Lifestealer?
could have been an option. Like if you go for Armlet Deso build, it's great against Kunkka, it's great against Bristle.
Top. That has the Axe Scepter, so
Radiant's
instantly
bottom
clear and
tower
push out
has
waves.
fallen.
Now Blink Dagger queued up. This is like the old school kind of mid Mirana build, even the 4th position. Go this Axe Blink build and just double Starstorm out the wave, blink away if you get ganked. Very, very annoying build to play against.
Especially for the support. You don't have any escape mechanism, AA and Rubik. You pretty
Radiant's
much solo
bottom
killed them.
tower is under attack.
There's now a Lotus Orb on Timbersaw, so gets that second means of dispel. Important things that you need to get rid of this game. Things are not looking all too good for Keen Gaming. We talked about TNC, they kind of just want to go late game anyways with Arc Warden, and they're ahead and they're going into the late game right now. We're only 22 minutes in, but by the time this Radiance comes up, it feels like Keen Gaming will be a little bit behind where they want to be.
Gordon doesn't even have boots.
Not your everyday build you'd expect to see. Go for the Mjolnir first, you know?
If TNC gets another pick-off or 2 hero pick-off, they can easily turn that. Have Bristleback with the 3 points in Goop, more than enough. Double scan. One is gonna connect, the dire one.
They're going. Gank this top lane. Shows up, but not blind with any catch, and I imagine Rubik will not be sticking around too long. TP's out. They're back in the enemy jungle. They Moonlight Shadowed in. They're going to catch the Rubik here. Oh, he didn't actually get the X arrow because Kunkka was lifted up in the air, and they didn't see where to kill the Rubik. Maybe not. Damage was not quite there initially. Kunkka's still diving for it, but it's being punished. Has the BKB. Will they need to pop this one defensively? Going to Soulbind 2 together here with the double silence.
Just run.
Yeah, I think TNC realized this is not a fight they want to take, and couldn't get the Yule Scepter off in time. TP out, save Grimstroke, so. Nice lift from Rubik, because the arrow, he couldn't pull the X back when he's lifted up in the air there, so it kind of saves his life with that little.
Keen Gaming wanted to take that fight because Radiance was just delivered to Lifestealer. I have a feeling that TNC wants to fight right now. Arc Warden has level 15. Mjolnir is ready. Also, we didn't talk about Mirana's talents. She went for HP on level 10 and arrow cooldown, so it's a 10-second cooldown. If somehow this game drags, you're gonna pick up Spell Amp talent on 20 and multi-shot arrows. That talent is so good.
That 10-second arrow cooldown is so nice when you're playing this aggressive, and speaking of which, it's going to be a long 5-second arrow mid followed up by a point. They haven't quite got the damage to kill him off though. Mirana in all sorts of trouble. The lift to fall of the Cold Feet. They lose Mirana, the X back is going to pull in the Timbersaw. They bring him down. Rage wearing off. Can they catch up to this lifesteal? Looks like they're going to change direction, instead go for the supporting cast. Rubik going to be X as well. The stolen arrow coming into play, but it doesn't matter too much as they will bring down Rubik as well.
The question is, do they want to go for a Roach right now? They don't have Mirana. If he has a buyback though. Maybe if Kunkka had a BKB, they would have gone for Roach. There's still tier 1 tower on the top, so they're just gonna go and play it safe.
And this was one of the big changes for TNC, is that as a team, they're so much more disciplined than they used. I think people talk about how like the last 4 or 5 months they've, you know, looked a whole lot stronger, and a big part of that is the fact they're just playing things safer. You'll see here the replay of this fight. It started off okay for Keen Gaming as the Mirana got caught, but it's a support kill where they lose that Timbersaw. The fact is, you kind of have to treat this Mirana like a core, but you know, there's too many cores on TNC's side to deal with right now.
This Timbersaw, even with the Lotus Orb and the Yule Scepter, it's not enough for him to survive. He doesn't have any magic resist. No Holy Locket, no Hood, so he does still shred through. Also against Mjolnir, maybe that could have been a pickup.
Gaming's next. Yeah, they really got much going for them if they just keep farming more for the late game. Are they gonna hit any big scary items, you think?
On side of Keen?
Yeah.
Well, Lifestealer still has like 4 slots left. Ember Spirit is also struggling with his farm.
Is it items that'll change this game though, do you? Or is TNC's draft just the scarier late game?
Under attack.
When you're playing against the Arc Warden, it always feels like the enemy. When you have Arc Warden on your team, you don't better late
Dire's
game.
middle tower is under attack.
See if they've got the answers. It would definitely put their abilities to test here. Playing down 10k gold into an Arc Warden late game. Not impossible, but definitely difficult. We did talk about though, you know, they've got 3 heroes. They don't really care about the Arc Warden bubble, so they've got ways to actually get on top of Arc Warden and kill him, which is perhaps what they've got going for them. Normally you see Arc Warden picked in these games where if you get late game, you just instantly win. This feels like one of those games where, you know, they can actually still do it. So back, caught by the Ice Blast, but with the hood damage, he's blocking a lot of this damage. All the mitigation is there. The X back on the Timbersaw, he's trying to chain himself away. They do accept a full dodge the X pullback. Looks like TNC will not commit too hard for any kind of a kill there, as they do have some split bottom. Warden. Charging in. Can he get some extra gold out of this one? Be close. It's got it. Plus 300 gold.
100. Look at HP on
gold.
Kanka. He's level 20, extra 25 strength, sitting on the 3.5k HP. We're gonna round it up, almost 4,000.
And with all this armor now, it's got an AC completed.
Step lively
33
now.
armor.
Your admiral is on board.
Incredibly tame. You mentioned you like the double braces on Timber. It's Kunkka going for the same build as well.
It's kind of a standard build on the base. Seems like a lot of these all shut up, go clock. Never mind, that's only a replicate.
Is under attack.
It's still gold. It's 300 gold. That's basically a hero kill. That adds up, and they're going to fight this mid lane. The arrow is going to be dodged by the raid. Tier 1 tower being focused here by the lifestealers. They're going to leave 2 together. The Ember there who's going to get infested with the lifestealer in sight. Can he render his way out this one? No, he's being pulled up in the air, and lifestealer does not have range. This is a disaster for Keen Gaming. Oh, they've lost Ember, who's going to instantly buy back, but this fight's already over and lost. The Ember needs to be careful not to die again. He renders away. Ryan's going leaping on forward. Another leap is there.
Arrow, it's gonna hit. Ooh, there's no follow-up though.
I think Morano's like, where are we, guys? Let's go get this one. Arrow's stolen now. As team's position a bit. That's a dead lifestealer and Ember brought back, so TNC. Very strong commanding position now.
Killed 2 cores, didn't lose anything. TNC is just building the advantage at the moment.
They're continuing to kill these Arc Warden Tempest doubles, but it's gold, but it's not really.
It's not real gold.
Well, it's real gold, but it's not really like any kind of
It's
an
not
advantage.
24 karat.
Yeah. People are okay and happy with their knockoff stuff.
Radiant's
For Arc
bottom
Warden, it's
tower
like you feed
is
away
under
that 300
attack.
gold, but it's getting you 300 gold every time you send it to another lane, and it's pressuring lane. So strategically, yeah, you're giving up gold, but you're keeping every lane shoved out, and that's helping your team find good.
Radiant structures are
And I love the pickup on it. Decided to go for Shadow Play. Like you have
Radiant's
Invis, you have
bottom tower
Mirana's
is under attack.
ulti, so they need to invest a lot of gold into Sentries, and those are limited. We only have 10 of them.
Also means that Tempest double, maybe he's going to be feeding a little bit less.
Yeah, so both of the supports will need to invest a lot of resources into buying sentries and dust.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scan, this feels like it's go time. Quite got the AC on Lifestealer, he's close to it though. A couple hundred gold. They want to fight over these bounty runes up top. Timbersaw, looks like he's king of the bounty rune. The Bristleback running them in as well. It's going to be Brawl coming out here. Bristleback needs to be careful, hit by the ice blast. Getting low, but it's also Timbersaw. Eventually heals himself and speeds to the out of this one, but the torrent timing, that Gills just sets up an easy torrent. They'll trade Bristleback for the Kunkka, so it's an even trade so far. And with the invest blink out, nicely played by the Lifestealer. Instead it looks like Kunkka's going to find the AA instead. Easy Starstorm follow-up, and Kunkka another kill. Hormel is just beasting it here.
Thunder X, arrow.
Didn't hit the torrent, or the arrow. Not sure where that arrow went. Lifestealer's going to go charging forward. He's going to rage. be out. New. Didn't have any detection or a way of going on the Grimstroke Glimmer Kick.
And on the bottom lane, you have this Arc Warden,
Okay.
Tempest Double, dealing some damage to tier 3 tower. They need to address that problem. Also, I don't feel like there's real item progression on Timbersaw. Like, this Lotus Orb is not doing much. If you wanted to get a second Dispel, I think Guardian Greaves would have been better. Just tank up your team. And there's not good spells to echo back, right?
Is there any benefit to being able to use on your team? I guess like Lifesteal has Rage and Ember and Remnant, but maybe not so much. Here you go. Well, Ormel's Kunkka 10-0-9 put him on their fantasy team. Now are rejoicing. Did you do some fantasy Dota, Lacoste?
Nah, I'm not into that stuff. I'm into real. Like this is me.
X Arn attempted to latch on. He's gonna run it away after. Mind game, you know. Try and Remnant away too soon, too late. Do you go for that Torrent as a Kunkka, or is he going to dodge it? AC completed on Lifestealer. He's got the it up, and he is going to be hitting that level 20 talent. You've got to imagine the evasion kicking in.
Oh, evasion. Again, Kunkka, Mirana, even Bristol, Arc Warden as well. And the Arc Warden going for solo pickup.
Do you like this? Oh, it's the Orchid, the Nullifier. The Doom build. Orchid, someone you nullify them, they can't use their items, they can't use spells. What do you do?
Was that a question? Like, you just die?
What do you do? There's one
there
solution.
There is one solution, that's Lotus Orb.
Oh. Oh, you can't use it for nullify. I guess your teammate. Your teammate. They're gonna
yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, yeah. The other solution, the one if you want worry about getting solo kill, is the Aeon Disc. You can actually get out of the nullifier, maybe.
But you can also nullify the Eon. Like if you proc it with the, say, from Shadowblade hit. Oh, and Eon Disc procs, and then you remove it.
And then
the
nullifier.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Goes charging on in. He's going to be instantly forced to BKB. There was a Lifestealer infested who's going to cause some problems here. And Bristleback trying to clear this tower here. I think TNC just have to get out. Nice arrow from afar. Catch the Timbersaw. Ember's going to go charging. I think TNC needs to get the hell out of this one. They don't have the Arc Warden with them. The Ice Blast will go flying on in as well. Catch the Bristol Mirana. As Leaf Charger still needs to maybe get to the high ground here. Another Starstorm. There's so much kiting going on here. Bristleback's going to go charging on in with a BKB. He wants this AA. He's going to be forcing his TP on out. Cuckoo, his BKB wearing off. He's in trouble once this expires. Another arrow goes flying. It's going to catch the Timbersaw, but I don't think they've got the damage for this one. It's got a hard to harass here. They're getting him low, and it's going to be Tins that sit on the Mirana. Goes down. Too aggressive coming in from him. The stolen arrows flying back. TNC.
But the bottom lane, Parker.
Yeah, I was wondering what was happening. Where this Arc Warden is, there's your answer. Rain track down.
And now they're saying go. They want to take a fight because they have vision of a Lifestealer who just TP'd back to the bottom lane to defend. But these teams are extremely tanky. Timbersaw has a heart right now, 4,000 HP. Kunkka, pretty much the same. So, and you have a Bristle on your team as well. So we're not going to see any straight up kills. No one's going to die straight away.
I mean, we see that fight lasted for so long with basically nobody dying. It wasn't until the Mirana overcommitted that she pays the price because she thought she could kill this Timber. I don't blame her, but that's a 4k HP Timber with a lot of magic.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
Bounty roots. Looked like Cuckoo was going for some up top. Doesn't quite get him, and there is going to be an arrow follow-up. The stolen arrow. The boat's going to help with some damage mitigation. Instead, they're going to change target. They're going to go find the Grimstroke instead. Get out the Soulbind and
Keen Gaming, 15,000 net worth lead deficit for them, but they are in the driver's seat at the moment, it feels like. I mean, but they're still not a real we didn't see a real team fight with Arc Lord.
It's kind of like a 5v4. Ever so slightly. I think Arc Lord might be coming into this fight here, but they've caught TNC. Can he get himself out of this one? He doesn't manage to do so. As buyback if he wants to use it, we're going to see double buyback coming into play. Bristleback turns, pops the BKB with help of the force up away. And now maybe it's time for Keen Gamer to get the hell out of this one. The Timbersaw has a package inside, just a life steal. I think he's just trying to get him the hell out of this one. The both follow-up is there, and they're getting him very, very low. Can they kill him? Life is going to pop out. Turn and fight. Hasn't got range for a couple of seconds. Doesn't have mana as well with the one charge. It should be able to turn and fight this one as Kunka gets bashed, and Kunka's in all sorts of trouble. Pops the BKB, goes for the TP. Where's the bash? Where's the bash?
There it is. Keen Gaming.
Keen Gaming get a second kill, down 15k gold. It's now just 10k gold with those buybacks, and they're charging forward.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That AC is doing God's work. Minus armor for the enemy team and extra armor for them. Also Timbersaw with this heart. Man, he's so tanky.
Dire's
They're
middle
trying
tower
to
is under attack.
focus him as the first target. I don't think that's the go-to plan.
He got 925 gold from killing Kunka, who was on a beyond godlike streak. And now onto the high ground we go. There is buybacks, but you really want to use a couple more. They may have to here. Gabby doing what he can with his double, and Lifesteal just gets deleted. Okay. Down he goes, and Bristle's chasing for more. Once his Rubik should be able to get him one more right click. Okay, arrow not going to be needed. Bristleback gets it, and
They need to run straight into Roche Pit. Oh, they couldn't get this one. Get the Aegis. I mean, Bristleback just bought back. Arc Warden does not have... Okay, he does not have enough money for a buyback, and Keen Gaming, they realize they need to contest the Roche, so buybacks are coming.
they are holding onto life sealers, which definitely not a buyback you want to use, but if it comes down to contesting Roshan or not, you may have to. And I see what these 10-second arrow cooldowns is, you can just constantly throw them out. Nice lift. It's going to save AA's life there, I want to say. Throw those arrows out to just get yourself vision into Scout.
Is under attack.
The Roshan hit, they go nonetheless. With Lifesteal not buying back, they feel like they can go for this one. It's going to be arrowing it as well.
Roshan's gonna go down so quickly. There's a 2 and Medallion. AA still has ulti.
Scouted out. Are they going to go for some kind of a steal here? What's the play? They don't want to buy back the lifesteal. It's still 18 seconds without him, and Roshan looks like he's just going to go down. And Rubik links in, doesn't time it right. The Aegis is picked up by Dr. Stone. That's the bristleback of Cuckoo, and Rubik. Costly play. He did not have buyback as well. Going for that without buyback.
It's a risky play, but I think it's worth it. If he gets it there, because Bristleback already used the buyback, it's a lot of BB.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
Do people get triggered if you call Bristleback a BB?
It's okay being referred to as a BB.
Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
Well, that's one of his many pronouns, BB. The old bristle. I mean, it was brilliance from Keen Gaming there in the mid game, but haven't quite managed to pull ahead of it. Instead, it's TNC who kind of restabilized, get an Aegis.
Radiant's
Are playing without a couple of their buybacks, so you do need to be a little bit careful here.
Can he do it?
Can who do it?
Can he kill the tower? Through the back door protection.
No, he can't answer your question, but he can kill it. With his
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
see some 25s coming out soon. That's kind of the next thing I'm looking at. Arc 1 hits his, and
Radiant
oh yeah,
are
everyone's
scanning.
favorite spark wraith damage. Always a big scary one.
AoE, I mean, it's not AoE, but it's you place a finger of death basically.
I don't know if he had it that last time when they deleted the lifesteal, or if that was just the right. It looked more like the right clicks with the Soulbind from Grimstroke silencing people up too. Mirana's 25, also scary one. The more arrows you typically imagine, but I mean both are really good.
Both are extremely good, but I would go for multi-shot arrows there. Talent, arrow cooldown, 10-second, 3 arrows. It also gives vision. That's the big part of it.
Those arrows will eventually hit. There's 3 of them flying around. You can't dodge them all the time. Because arrow, when you see it coming, is one of those spells that's pretty easy to sidestep.
You're
It's inevitably going to hit something.
I love what TNC is doing. They don't have too many single targeted spells to combine with Sylvan, so they are building items. You have this Arc Warden with the Orchid, Nullifier. Even Spirit Vessel.
TNC, despite having his Aegis, so kind of just playing it slow and chill though.
Swifter than ever.
Double damage bottled off for Kunkka as well. Daedalus. So crits can start doing some work in these fights as well. Like they are just going to slow down the pace. Instead of the BKB, Mirana ended up going for Lotus Orbs. Have a bit of extra Dispel and Save.
Great against Lifestealer, removing the chains from Ember Spirit. Also has a Force Staff, as we talked about. It's a really good item. Just kiting potential to what Mirana has right now.
Timber.
I love fire.
It was mid-air. It's flying across the map. He was close to catching him there. Still gonna hit him.
I think it's gone.
It was still flying in the air, but yeah, maybe he disjoints it.
Allies disappear.
Fire is just turning reality right now.
Dire are scanning.
So Timbersaw needs 1 CS to get himself to level 25. I assume he's gonna go for Verling that, since he's playing against the 2 strength heroes, but the Timber Chain is also good against the Arc Warden to close the gap. You just get on top of him. He decides to go for level 25. There it is.
Has fallen.
Healed up yet. There we go. Whirling Death attribute and Ghost Ship Fleet. Go.
Dire's
Multi-ships.
structures are fortified.
Gunning for this Timbersaw. Catch him again.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
%28 stats loss against Bristol and Kunkka. They're not just stealing the stats, they're also stealing their magic on top of it.
Perfect. Found out. Nullifier cancels TPs right. Yeah, that's just twice in a row he's TP'd out as the Nullifier was midair. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm not going crazy. That Timbersaw is really pushing the limit. I'm sure he's just like, both those times where he TP's out just failed. Making his lucky stars. Who else is Lifestealer, Ember, Mirana. 25's coming up. Lifestealer, what? Rage duration, you got to imagine. Ember. Sleight of Fist shot?
I think he's gonna go for the left, Alan.
Okay.
Sleight of Fist seems way better when you're playing EL Illusion.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
The Aegis expires without too much high ground attempt, and it's very much a case of TNC may have had Aegis, but their buybacks were down. Their lineup doesn't exactly push high ground easily, whereas Radiance defends high ground incredibly well.
Now you have Rubik, Timbersaw, Slide.
This time around, what's there waiting? Trap his lane and gets pummeled.
You might be tanky, but against 2 Arc Wardens and the whole enemy team, Bloodthorn, Nullifier.
Yeah, the crit. They finally catch him out there. Yeah, like Bristle with the Ice Blast here. Let's go to the BKB and say he's going to get full stuff away. BKB now. Trying to get some extra damage on this tower with the Ghost Ship Fleet, and be a stolen Torrent. The spell he was hoping for. Bit of damage dealt to the tower there, but significant by any means. Timber dead. It looks like Keen Gaming have no issues defending high ground without Bristol.
Yeah, I feel like TNC does not want to fully commit.
Yep.
New Roche may respawn in a minute. Wait for that, because Arc Warden can pressure the side lanes, give them the info where the enemy heroes are, and Roche just dies so quickly with the Bloodthorn.
Rubik, no, has Ghost Scepter. doesn't have detection. Yeah, it's right about to die, I want to say. Nullifier there as well. Rubik does not have a escape for that. Back and top. There we go. Triple arrows flying around.
I like this gem pickup because they have a lot of invis and the sentries are now limited. They're not going to be able to see them.
You want all the sentries on the map and also take out all the radiant vision as well, ideally. They've got a lot of vision down in this bottom jungle, but TNC...
They're not playing the bottom part of them. The only one who's at the bottom is Arc Warden Tempest up.
Backdoor protection. There is no backdoor protection. Creeps one in mid, so he's doing permanent damage. And
Rubik's dead.
Yeah, permanent damage to Rubik. Black. So, I say permanent damage, it does have that helper again. 700 damage dealt. Not instantly healed by the backdoor protection, but will be healed over time. Just gonna keep sending some doubles in down that bottom lane. That's gonna be the play. Has a blink dagger now instead of shut
Arrow.
Oh,
It connects on Ember.
they're pinging it. It looks like they want to go for the building damage. They're playing it safe, and then it's gonna be Arc Warden blinking in with the Nullify. He broke the Lincoln. Trying to get those right clicks in. Doesn't quite have the damage. They are coordinate. He will lose his Tempest double. Still, permanent damage dealt to this tier 3 tower.
Level 25 Mirana. What a zoning tool. They can keep doing this. If the lanes are pushed in, she uses the arrow for the vision. They need to reposition themselves, and they just deal the damage to the tower.
Slow and steady.
We have
TNC.
3 hearts in this game.
For lightning tanky, I guess. Bunker with a hex queued up. I mean, talk about getting items to combo with the Grimstroke. That is the best.
Grimstroke also has one queued up.
TNC's lineup is scaling in all roles, and once again,
Bottom lane, pushed in.
doesn't look like Arc Warden. But his double did, where has another one if he wants to send it down there. This is melee racks, and I think right now King Gaming very focused on Roshan, so this bottom melee racks.
That's a lot of spark rates in the Roche pit.
Oh yeah.
We've seen that before when
Yeah.
Miracle played it, but he had Arcane Rune, right?
Yes. Quite the same outcome. Goes in, looking again. The lift is there. Save the Ember's life. Double. So obnoxious to play into. You get gold for him at least, but I don't know, it doesn't feel good to get 300 gold at this stage of the game. Because you're just constantly on the back foot. It doesn't matter. It's not about the gold here, it's just about where you're forced to play on the map, and as a result, TNC, this is a free Roshan.
She's in the Aegis. Arc Warden is running out of slots. I mean, he can still buy Moon Shard, Aghanim Scepter.
Grants a new ability, Rune Forge.
Yeah.
Potentially pretty good. Oh,
If you get the double damage or if you get the Arcane Rune, it's so good. On certain heroes, the loot can be extremely good as well.
Pretty shabby, but you're not going to buy an Axe.
Well, he's gonna buy it eventually. It's just
And they're just going in. They're looking to hit some buildings here. They're zoning with the arrows as well as the Ghost Ship. It's literally just zone King Gaming away by throwing these spells, hitting arrows. They're going to hit these arrows. Mirana pulls up. They're not really looking to commit on this one. I think they know it's much more important to take the objectives, and they are taking the racks here, but it needs to be careful. It's got the Age, the 4-stars keeping them alive. The Bash is going to hit on the Bristleback, but they don't really want to leave their base here. And it's a tier 3 tower plus range racks. And it looks like Arc Warden is sending himself or his double down bottom here. He's sending his double in to go for the backdoor play down bottom. So while all this distraction happens up top, it does look like bottom melee racks. Can they kill it off? He's got BKB now. I love this pickup just to make sure they can take some of these objectives. It's going to be close. I think they've got the damage for it.
Melee racks on the top lane. Another one's going down.
Yeah. Death by 1,000 cuts. TNC don't care about taking the kills. They don't take them if they came to them, but King Gaming so annoying with their high ground defense, and TNC are just finding ways to bit by bit break their base.
Another arrow on Ember Spirit.
they're so disciplined. Like, they hit these arrows, but they're never following it up and committing for kills.
They can just play this slowly. They don't have to risk anything at this point. You can always go in. There's no burst damage on the side of Team Gaming. There's not enough stuns to keep in play, so they can go in. BKBs are down to 6 and 5 seconds. Bristleback and Kanka can just go in, hit the tower, Arc Warden as well, repeat every single tower up.
Also has an Octarine core. Ag 70 feet up as well, so there will be more damage coming out, but it still feels like there's going to be constant problems not having quite enough damage, and also just not being able to deal with every single lane being pushed in. And I guess the good news is once you're down to your tier 4s, they can't split push you anymore. You just stand in your tier 4s. There's a relic destroyed. Is that a rapier? Oh no, it's a nullifier. Go ahead, queue it up.
Well, at least you know from which side they're gonna enter. It's gonna be mid, so you can prepare for defending the mid lane.
Well, you say that. Watch some like Spark Wraith, Tempest Doubles go in bottom or top of the tier 4 towers.
They have a sentry.
Coming, but at this point, Arc Warden just seems keen on using this BKB to take objectives. Plan or not. Arrows aren't. They are just to force these towers here. Arrows continue to go flying out here, and it's going to be Piranha leaping on forward. Didn't quite have the damage to kill off the Rubik, who did get kept alive the Grimstroke at the Kumba Cave. And the arrows just continue to go flying, and it's going to be tier 3 tower literally playing here. It's still getting so incredibly low. The ever forced to buy back. The guys got this going to land on 2, but the damage just isn't really there. They're kiting with these 4 stars. There's just nothing Team Gaming can do. They just can't keep these heroes in place. They're falling one by one, forcing out these buybacks. 3 buybacks used already. TNC may just, let's just, you know, re-engage, reset a little bit, but they're being chased after here. I think Team Gaming feel now, it's now or never here. The arrows going flying out, forcing them to kind of disperse. It's so hard to chase when these arrows are just flying at you. Tempest Double. This one maybe just going to feed away some gold. The arrows again going flying. Doesn't latch on anyone. The leash though is there. Soul binding 2 together. Piranha's got leaping in with the double tassel. Doesn't quite kill the Rubik here. Lifestealer still leash. Will get the rage away. And with Rubik dead for 100
No buyback on Rubik.
Not looking good. Timbersaw pull back in. He's got no buyback as well. And this is looking like the end for King Gaming. A cleave from the Kunkka. Slices through the Lifestealer's life, and it's GG. 53 minutes. King Gaming, they fought hard and long. They were so resilient, but it's TNC.
I love the patience from TNC. Arc Warden did not have a good time early on, but the other 4 played so well.